Morning. It's April 24th. 68 degrees this morning. Weather's finally starting to break. Be nice for us. And as you can see, our blueberries are starting to leaf out. We worked on the soil and got the pH down in the low fives from a little over 7. And you can see they're liking this warmer weather in the rainy season here. And in another week, we'll be able to slowly start getting some stuff planted outside. And down here is our pH meter. Let me see if I can turn this thing on. I don't know if you can see that, but we started out at 7. So it's not wanting to cooperate this morning. Let's see if we can do this. Angle it a little more so you can see. There we go. You can see it going down. We're shooting for 4.5 to 5.0, and we're at 5.0. Well, there it went to 4.9. That's what that sulfur does. Sulfur and pine bark nuggets. And that's about the optimum soil pH range for your blueberries. They say 4.5 to 5.5, but no higher than 5.5. And you can see we're at 4.8. So that's what happens if you get your soil right. And we'll just do you a little walk around really quick. Here's our spinach. It's doing pretty good. There's our store-bought celery and onions. We're going to probably pick this onion today because it went to seed. So it was a nice little experiment. You can regrow your onions, but they'll go to seed on you. But that's a nice sized little bulb. We'll have that today with something. And we'll show you how the pepper plants are doing since we transplanted them. They're in our little cage here, our cat area cage. We're going to get high winds today, so I put these little plastic panels up. So there they are. They're doing really nice. And you got our sweet potatoes there. And here we got some cucumber seedlings. My next door neighbor, she asked me to start her seeds for her. So I took her seeds and I got her some seeds started. And there's our tomatoes. They're kind of tall and gangly, but I've got trellises for those when we get them in the ground. Cactus is doing pretty good. 20 years old and still kicking. Here's the new trellis I built for the tomatoes. I'll have tomatoes there, and those peppers are going to go right here. And we have the other tomato place here where our garlic's going. That was planted last year and it's starting to come up. Here's let me see if I can get a shot of that. Excuse me for being so quick with the video here. Had to beat the gate closing. There's our peas. Those are Alaska variety. We're getting ready to get some rain, so I got my water barrel set up, my water buckets up there. I can pump that water right into here. It's 3/4 of the way full. So we'll get rain tonight and tomorrow. We'll fill it up. There's Mr. Glitch. Here's the strawberries. They're doing great. Lots of flowers on them. Strawberries coming out on some of them. Even the ones in the containers are doing great. Actually, better than I thought. You trying to get out? There again, here's another shot of the tomatoes. And they really need transplanting out of those cups. Next year I'm going to start 3 weeks later on those, and I'll be about right. So you can see the strawberries. They're all looking really, really good. And here's our blackberries. They're coming out really nice. And I go in here and I strip out these buds down through here. And what I should have done was cut these back to one cane. It's called primocane suppression. You get bigger berries, but I was afraid we'd lose the canes. I've cut them back to one before, then the freeze comes back through and kills that cane. So that works better in the south than it does in the north. But we left more canes on this year, but we still stripped them out here. There's one back there I got to get. You can see it. We strip all this out, and then we just have the horizontal growth to produce the berries. Here again, here's another little shot. The strawberries and our little potatoes in the buckets. These are our extra Yukon Gold potatoes. You can see they're starting to sprout up. Walk over here and look at the leeks are starting to come on finally, and the spinaches and the lettuce. And here's our iceberg lettuce. It's finally starting to do something. It's taken a while, but it's doing it. And our blackberries along the fence here. This is church parking lot behind us. So I'm trying to get the video done early this morning before they have service, because the parking lot will be full. But yeah, they're starting to do their thing. And here's a fire pit that I found at the curb in our neighborhood. So I repurposed it. I lined it with, it's a stainless steel fire pit, so this thing will last forever. I just lined it with some landscaping cloth and filled it in with soil and planted some potatoes and some beets in here. And they're starting to come up. Don't mind my shed. It's getting ready to be here in the next year or two. We're going to spend the money on getting some new siding for it. And here's our sweet potato bed. I just started cutting the grass, and we don't fertilize our lawn or put pesticides or chemicals on it. So we'll do those bags of leaves, a layer of leaves, a layer of grass, a layer of leaves, a layer of grass. You can see here's some tops of some old plants that I cut down and threw in there. We get the greens and the browns, and you layer it like a lasagna. And I throw kitchen scraps like apple peels and carrot peels and potato peels. Not sweet potato peels, though. I don't put those in there, just regular potatoes. And once we get our sweet potatoes planted, I'll make a video of that. And when we harvest them, I'll show you. We just pull these bags away, and you can see the sweet potatoes just hanging right there at the side of the bags. Here's our peas. These are sugar snap peas. My wife and my mother-in-law love them, so We got some. Wish she could be here to get some too, but that's okay. At least she can watch them grow because she watches my videos. And thank you to Ed, our father-in-law, because he's the one who bought the blackberry plants for us. And they're doing good, Ed. And here's a beet that was planted last year. I left in the ground, and it's coming back up. It's going to seed. That's a Detroit dark red. And then this one is our Cinderella that we're going to make our own seed. This is from last year. And here's our onions. They're starting to do pretty good. They're coming out green at the top, really nice. And here's our potato beds, our Yukon Gold. You can see our potatoes. They're starting to come out. They're actually doing better than I thought they would. It's the first time we planted potatoes in these boxes, so we're going to see how well they do. And you can see we still got a few that's a little slow guys to get started, but down in there he is. But his brother here is doing pretty good. So they're doing good. And if you can see down through the screens here, it might be hard to see this early in the morning, but our beets, these are our Cinderella beets. Maybe I can get like that. You can see they're doing pretty good. I have to keep these screens on it because the squirrels will dig them up. There's some more beets covered in the screen. When they get bigger, I'll take the screens off. And here's our little marvel peas. They're coming up pretty good. The other ones down there are sugar snaps, and these are little marvel. I think the sugar snaps are the way to go. They're getting a lot more prolific and bigger than these guys, but maybe these guys will catch up. Well, there you go. There's a little garden update, and wanted to show you the blueberries because that's going to be the pride and joy of everything we grow here. So, Lord willing, they make it. We'll get some blueberries this year, or for sure, hopefully next year. Well, there you go. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.